She didn't mean to fall asleep. Not on that late-night train. Not in a silk dress. But exhaustion doesn't ask for permission. The train jolted slightly, but she didn't stir. Head resting against the window, the rhythmic clatter of the tracks became a lullaby. Her soft pink dress shimmered faintly under the fluorescent lights, elegant yet oddly vulnerable in a world too quick to look the other way. In the corner of the car sat a man, tall, quiet, built like someone used to carrying weight, both physical and emotional. His name was Daniel, a former Marine turned overnight security guard. He had boarded 2 stops before and noticed her immediately, not in a romantic way, but in a way that veterans tend to scan their surroundings, looking for what's out of place, what's unsafe, what's unguarded. She looked out of place. She looked unguarded. And more than that, she looked lost, even in sleep. Daniel wasn't one to meddle. He respected boundaries, kept to himself. But something about this moment tugged at a part of him he thought was buried long ago, the part that once knew what it meant to protect people not because it was his job, but because it was the right thing to do. As the train screeched into another station, a group of young men got on. Loud. Half-drunk. Careless. They laughed too hard, stared too long, nudged one another as they noticed the girl in the silk dress. One of them pointed. Another smirked. Daniel's jaw clenched. He shifted in his seat, subtly positioning himself in their line of sight. His body language said what words didn't, don't. And perhaps they sensed it. Maybe it was the firm gaze in his eyes or the military stillness of his posture. Whatever it was, they sat at the far end of the car instead, cracking jokes under their breath. But their attention had shifted. He knew what could happen if she missed her stop. He knew the city at night, the alleys, the shadows, the people who fed on vulnerability. He also knew she didn't belong in that world. As the train rolled on, Daniel made a decision. He walked over, careful not to startle her, and sat in the seat across the aisle. Not too close. Not invasive. Just, there. And then he waited. Her name was Lily, a graduate student in art history. That evening, she had given her first ever gallery presentation in a tiny uptown studio. She wore the silk dress because it was her late mother's, elegant, graceful, full of memories. Her friends had cheered, wine had flowed, and her heart had felt light for the first time in weeks. But behind her bright smile were real struggles. She was working 3 part-time jobs. Her rent was overdue. Her professor had just told her she might not qualify for funding next semester. She hadn't told anyone. Not even her sister. She'd gotten on the train alone, telling herself she'd be fine. But sometimes, even the strongest need someone to watch over them. When Lily stirred awake, the train was nearly empty. She blinked, disoriented, brushing her hair back and looking around. Her eyes met Daniel's, calm and reassuring. "I didn't mean to fall asleep," she mumbled. "It's all right," Daniel said softly. "We're almost at the last stop." "Is that where you're headed?" She hesitated. "No. I was supposed to get off 6 stops ago." Daniel nodded. "Let me help you get home." She froze. "No offense, but I don't really know you." He smiled. "Fair. My name's Daniel. I'm a night guard at St. Mark's Hospital. I just didn't want you waking up alone this far out." There was a pause. Then she looked at him, really looked, and saw no judgment, no agenda. Just decency. "Thank you," she whispered. "I guess I needed that more than I realized." Outside the station, she ordered a rideshare. Daniel waited beside her under the flickering streetlight, arms crossed against the cold. When the car arrived, she opened the door and paused. "Why'd you do it?" she asked. Daniel shrugged. "Because someone once did the same for my sister. She made it home because someone gave a damn. I never forgot that." She nodded, stepped inside, and the car pulled away. But neither of them knew, that night would change everything. 1 week later. Lily couldn't stop thinking about the man on the train. She told her sister, who insisted she post about it online. So she did, a long post titled, "To the Stranger Who Sat Across the Aisle." It went viral within hours. The story touched hearts nationwide. Veterans groups recognized Daniel from the vague description. Local news did a feature. Comments poured in from people sharing similar moments, small kindnesses that had saved them. And then one morning, Daniel's boss called him into the office. "You've got a visitor," he said with a grin. Lily stood there, this time in jeans and a nervous smile. "I wanted to say thank you properly," she said. Daniel chuckled. "You already did. But I also wanted to offer you something. My university is looking for a campus safety coordinator." "I may have," suggested someone. He raised an eyebrow. "It's a better job. Daytime hours. Full benefits," she added. "You deserve better than night shifts and cold platforms." Daniel didn't know what to say. "Besides," she added, "I figure someone like you should be around young people, to remind them the world still has good men." 6 months later. Daniel took the job. He moved closer to campus, started volunteering with a veteran mentorship program, and became somewhat of a legend among the students. Everyone knew about the train man now. And Lily? She graduated with honors. With Daniel's encouragement, she applied for a prestigious fellowship and won. They remained close, two people whose lives had touched, unexpectedly, on a cold train in the middle of the night. Their bond wasn't romantic. It was deeper. It was built on gratitude, trust, and a shared belief in kindness. So if you ever wonder whether small actions matter, they do. A seat across the aisle. A quiet decision to stay. A willingness to see someone who most might ignore. That's how the world changes. One safe journey at a time. Red heart. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, Kindness Stories. Because sometimes, the world just needs one more reason to believe in good people.